All right, here we are. We're going to take a trip down memory lane. This is my first album. This is my only album that I recorded. During the time of this, I did, like, after I finished this, I started working on my second album, but I never recorded the second album. So we're just gonna look at this first project, which is called the Artistry of, and that's the name of the podcast. But this album was first, and like the intro, the music ideas, it all came from this album. So in order for us to really explore the album, we first have to start with before the genesis. The genesis of the album. And we're gonna listen to the whole thing, and I'll be just giving different drops and different things as they come. But before the album, so I'm born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland, and on the playgrounds where I spent most of my days, shooting out max and relaxing. I'm cool and shooting some b-ball outside of the school when a couple of guys, they were up to no good. All right, so Baltimore, Maryland is the backdrop. Now, the album wasn't created in Baltimore because I already left. So I left. I think I was telling you guys about when I just felt like my life was going nowhere, right? So I'm like 17, 18, just really don't know what I'm going to do. And my history teacher, Mr. Carey, I just wanted to be him. I just wanted to be like him. I wanted to be a history teacher. I wanted to pledge alpha, become an alpha, and I just wanted to just be him, right? So I want to say, like, I had a few teachers who was very impactful. Mr. O'Neill, definitely Mr. O'Neill. He was the first to believe in me, right? So I tried to play the piano before, back in middle school. And once the teacher, which was Mr. Carpenter, he was cool too. Mr. Carpenter was cool. I kept begging for lessons, and then he finally brought me in for the lesson, right? And when he saw my hands, then it, like, something changed. You could just see it in him, like, ah. And those of you who don't know, I have 8 fingers. And so he saw my hands, and that was the end of the lesson. So that was middle school. And then Mr. O'Neill, I got to Mr. O'Neill in high school. Mr. O'Neill was like, look, you can do it. If you want to play the piano, you can do it. So Mr. O'Neill was definitely a major factor. And Mr. Weish, so those were like those were my first musical influences. So Mr. O'Neill was like my father in music, and Mr. Weish was like my mother in music, because Mr. Weish was more nurturing. Mr. O'Neill, he was like a father. He was, look, I believe that you can do this if you want it, but you're going to have to work hard. So I'm going to give you all the tools. I'm going to show you how it's done, but all the hard work is on you. Like, it's up to you to do it. Whereas Mr. Weish was more nurturing and really there. Hey, look, this is what you got to do. And okay, move your hands like this. All right, let me hear you. Right. So those were my 2 musical influences. And so I wanted to become a classical pianist at the time. Right. This is before I felt like I didn't know what was going on with my life. So Mr. Weish, he was preparing, because I started the piano and then I got really good. Like in 3 months, I was really good on the piano. And he was like, look, let's go ahead and get you into a school for the arts. I want to say it was a Peabody. Let's get you into Peabody. And I believe the issue that he ran into was they didn't believe that I only was playing for 3 months. And I'm sure maybe people were hustling. It's hard to say. You just never know how things are gonna go. But that was the end of that. So I wasn't going to Peabody. I wasn't going to no musical conservatories. Therefore, I wasn't really going to step up my piano other than me just practicing, me just playing. And it was so much more that I didn't know because one of the guys who, when I was in high school, he was the best, Deron Hawkins. I mean, just a pure monster. I'm sure he still is a monster. But, as a kid, he was very influential, and I wanted to be just like him. He was playing jazz, but I knew that level, I could obtain that level in classical music. And I knew that there was a lot of music that I didn't understand. So, like I said, once we hit the they don't believe that you only been playing for 3 months. So once we hit that wall, then music took the back burner. It was like, look, if this is not an option, I don't really know what is an option. So that's when I started to feel, started to really, hit that, man, what am I going to do? So, boom, now we got Mr. Carey, right? So after my musical, all right, become a musician type of thing. Then Mr. Carey was just so cool as a teacher. He was young, energetic, and he just made history funny, made you want to know it, made you want to learn it. And he just had that swag about him. All the girls liked him. All the guys liked him too. He was cool. So I'm like, look, I want to be like Mr. Carey, right? So, boom. And that's what I'm gonna do then. So he went to Lincoln, I want to say, which is a school in Pennsylvania. It might be like a HBUC, or I don't know all the letters for it, but it's like a HBC. But I'm sure eventually they even added universities as well. All in all, it's a historically black college. For those of you who've never heard of that, usually what it is during the segregation years. Look, man, we dropping knowledge today. During the segregation years, blacks couldn't go to college with the whites. So most cities have their universities, and most states have their universities. The University of Maryland, University of North Carolina, University of Atlanta, University of Florida, so you guys get it. And I want to say what is it? The one in Columbus, because that's really big, and a lot of Ohio State. So you have these universities, but at the time they weren't letting blacks. So what would happen is not teachers, but I guess if you had land, you could donate that land to form an all-black college. This is where colleges, blacks could go to college, and they would learn. Back in those days, I believe the only thing that they really were offering were maybe not all agriculture, but in most of your places where these schools were popping up, usually in the South and in the Midwest, they did pop up on the North because Lincoln is a HBCU as well. Cool, but I don't know what they were studying at first. Probably some type of trade. So that's your HBUC. So Mr. Carey, that's where he went. He went to Lincoln. So I wanted to go to Lincoln. I just wanted his life. I was going to go to Lincoln. I was going to become a history teacher, and I guess becoming a history teacher in high school. That didn't happen. I ended up at West Virginia State College. This is in 2000, and eventually became West Virginia State University. But when I first got there, it was just West Virginia State College. So I'm there. I'm like, okay, I'm going to become a music teacher. No, I'm going to become a history teacher. I'm going to pledge, become an alpha. And I could still get the dream, right? The Mr. Carey dream, the Mr. Carey Deluxe. So sign me up for the Mr. Carey Deluxe. Boom, we get in. I got a scholarship. I believe that they were looking for music students at the time. It was Dr. Giles. She came there. She was looking for music students. So I was like, yeah, I play the piano. So I went in there and I auditioned, and I played some Beethoven, hooked it up, had it fresh, and I got the scholarship. The scholarship entailed that I was going to be a music student. So it's cool, let's do it, right? So boom, now I'm not a history major, I'm a music education major. And now I'm back in my music. I'm really in it now. I'm meeting other musicians, and we just kind of just having fun. I mean, it's just a good time. Then we get to around, so that's like 2000. We get to around 2004, I'm guessing. And I'm not really sure what really launched me into wanting to be a rapper. Like, I'm not really sure. Maybe I wrote a rap. Like, I used to rap in high school, but I would freestyle. And even in middle school, right? So that's when I really developed my rapping abilities and my rapping repertoire, my rapping reputation. So people knew me in middle school like, yo, Bob can rap. So I didn't have a name. We'll get to the name Bo Miles. But at that time, it's just Bob can rap. So I'm rapping. You know, Lil Bobby can rap. So they have ciphers. I jump in. I'm kicking tail. High school. I'm the best, right? After a while, I want to say after like the Noriega album and Capadonna, I just kind of just stopped rapping. It wasn't nothing where I just walked away from it. I just didn't do it. Just wasn't really worried about it. And once I got into the music program, I was really just focusing on playing just instrumentalists. And so that's where I was really at. But something happened. I really don't remember what was the catalyst, but at some point I was just rapping. I could always play the piano and rap at the same time. Like, I could always do that. When I first got the piano, I got my first keyboard probably when I was 15. I could do it then. Like, I could always do it. It was never whenever I got the keyboard, I could do it. I could just play and rap. It wasn't nothing. It was just like beating on the desk, making a beat and rapping. So I could always do it. But around 2004, 2005, that's when I really set out to be a musician and to really, really go after this. And I just felt it. I just felt it inside. I just felt that this was the direction, that this was the pull of my life, and that I would be a superstar. I just felt it. And it's so crazy sometimes when you have these ideas, and I could even feel it from other people. Like, people who didn't even know me, they just looked at me like I was a star. And this is something that I do believe in. It's timeline reverberation. And this is bro science. This is bro philosophy. I'm sure somebody wrote it. Somebody got their doctorates off of this. I'm sure that they have. But this is something that I always felt. I just felt this at an early age. At like 7, 10, I could feel this idea, right? So timeline reverberation means that at some point in your life, right, in your future, you achieve and you accomplish something. And that what you achieved and that what you accomplish reverberates throughout your whole timeline. So even when you're in your 5, right, even when you're 10, even when you're 13, you feel something that happened to you. It's in the future, right? So that's a basic idea. And this is something that I believe. So if I have that belief and I feel like my music, I'm famous off of my music. So I just knew that I would be famous. I mean, I play the piano and I rap. No one is doing that. And this is something new. How can I not? How can I not be famous, right? So this is how I felt And like I said, like I got a feeling from other people. Like when I meet people now, like it's just weird. And this goes to something else. It's the question, am I tuned into someone else's future? Am I just picking up waves from someone else's future? So from Future, right? So at the time, you figure Future, he's not out, right? 2005, because I want to say Racks on Racks on Racks, like all of that came out maybe, I don't know, 2010, 2012. So Future's not, he's probably doesn't even have the name Future, right? He has his regular name, whatever that is. So was I just feeling his timeline? Was I tuning into his timeline? Or this is just me reconciling. Or did I become a big time rapper, musician in another reality? And I'm getting ideas, I'm getting signals from that reality. So that's what I believe now. It's between, like, I don't feel like it's me tuning into someone else's dream, or it's because it's not a dream once it's a reality. So I don't feel like it's me tuning in to Future's future, right? We know his future. We know what happened. We know how his story played out up until this point. So 1999, was I tuning in to him or anyone? It doesn't really matter. The baby, Lil Baby, right? It doesn't matter, because someone 2, 3 years, 5 years from now, there will be some new rapper, right? So the idea is, okay, are you tuning into their destiny and perceiving it as your own? Now, these ideas are very complex and very out there, because they're really talking about a sense, a sixth or seventh sense. And we all get these feelings where you think about somebody and all of a sudden they call, or a letter, or let's say you get this idea, put your keys in your left pocket, right? And you put them in your right pocket, and you driving or whatever, you go put them back in your right pocket. Then you're looking for them, and come to find out you had a hole in your right pocket or something like that, right? So we all get these ideas. These ideas aren't new and special. Oh, man, my battery's about to die. So let's see. We'll pause it, and you guys won't know anything, but I need to change out these batteries. All right, so I believe I was talking about timeline reverberation, and sometimes you get feelings, and those feelings and those premonitions are based in some type of reality, right? So I've even done this with practicing, where I've practiced, right? So let's say I'm learning like 50 chords off of C. So that means you're playing 50 different chords, and C is in your pinky. I said to myself, so I set a routine where I practice. I'm practicing every day, right? So I'm practicing every day. I'm learning these chords. And I said to myself, okay, if I don't take a day off, then I will eventually get to B. So I should be able to play all 50 chords on B as if I've practiced them. And this goes into a lot of time travel paradoxes, because it's like the book. If you create a time machine, and then you go back in time and you give yourself a book. Let's say this book has the winning sports, like an almanac from Back to the Future 2. So you live up to 50 or whatever age, you create this time machine, you go back in time, you give yourself this book. And that time, when you go back to your 20-year-old self, you have to arrive back to the point where you go back in time. So it's a loop. It creates a loop, right? Now, using the alternate realities in multiverse and string theory, what happens is when you go back in time, you're not going back to your timeline, you're going to another timeline. Because that timeline, now that you have this book to create the almanac, well, to utilize this almanac of sports, your life is going to be different. Because in the first timeline, you didn't have it. So that's the idea. And that's why I kind of believe that the reverberation is a multi-string idea. So at some universe, the reason why I have these ideas and these songs that I have, like, especially from the second album, like, I feel like those are really hits. And I remember singing one. This is when I went back to Baltimore, and I'm singing one. And maybe a year or whatever later, one of the guys, his girlfriend, was singing that song, and it was, she remembered. So this is, she only heard it one time, right? But she remembered it. So that's that's one of my beliefs. So, but in this timeline, I didn't become a big time rapper, right? I didn't become the Drake of this era or the Jay-Z of my lifetime. I didn't become that. So who knows? Who knows what happened? But you gotta enjoy what you did. You gotta enjoy what you do, and the music that you create has to be for you. And that I can say that I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the music that I created in the album. I just really enjoyed this all. So 2004. This is before I even have a name. I don't believe I even have a name, but I go to New York, right? Because I already had a friend from New York who kind of, he believed in me, and I really wish I would have had this project when I first met him. Then that way we could have really, because you need a team. You need a team. You get out there on the field and it's like, man, I keep losing. Yeah, because it's 11 guys. And it's just you by yourself. Like, you going against the Washington, they're not called the Redskins, right? Or they're definitely trying to change their name. So the Baltimore Ravens, you're going against the Baltimore Ravens, but you by yourself. You need a team. And so I had that with Ray. I had a team, right? So we went up to New York and he recorded me, and I did my first song that I wrote, which is Titanium Globe. And I wrote that in high school. I was listening to a lot of Wu-Tang and a lot of Killer Priest when I wrote that. And after that, then I went into like a Noriega, and I always liked Nas. Like, Nas has always been my favorite rapper. Nas has always been. I remember I really remember the first time I heard "The World Is Yours." That is my favorite song, but that's not any of my security questions. So, for you scammers out there, look, let me type in "The World Is Yours" right now. It's like, nah, nah. But that is my favorite. That is my favorite song, or one of them. I mean, because there's so many. But that's my favorite hip-hop song. That's my favorite rap song. And I remember the first time I heard it. Like, I remember it clear, as if it was yesterday, or as if I'm in that moment right now. And that goes back to the timeline reverberation, right? Like, that's what I'm talking about. So, anyway. So, we do the song Titanium Globe, and I don't even know what year that was. That could have been like 2003. I don't know what year it was, but it was before I went to New York, because when I went to New York, I went up there, but this was before the internet was really the way it is now with social media. Is like right now I can get in touch with Ray. I can hit him up right now. Yo, what's up? What's good? I'm coming up. I got the album. Let's go ahead and hit the block. Let's hit the streets. Right? You can do that now, but back then, and I think I was right on the cusp of it. But I was too early. Right? So I went up there solo. I didn't have any means. Now he's in Far Rockaway, and I didn't have any means to really connect with him and to figure out a way that I could reach out to him while I was up there. So I'm up there homeless. I don't know anybody. I don't know anything. But I had the musician's mind, right? I knew, okay, get with the musicians. You can become a roadie. You can just work your way, get you a gig, and just power through. Right? So that's what I'm thinking. So I go up there. I remember my first day, I get off the train and I see a guy who's like, I'm trying to get home. He has a sign. He's sitting on the ground. He's like, I have any money. He's asking for money. Please give me money. I'm a musician. I believe he even had his guitar with him. So I just sat down. Around the ground next to him. I was like, yo, I'm a musician. I'm up here. What advice? What advice you got? And so he was just kind of laying it out for me. Look, man, this is how it is. This is what you got to do. And what I gained from him was, you need your bus ticket home. Like, that's what you're gonna need that. So I don't even have a name yet, right? I guess at this point I'm still Bobby. So I don't have a name. Oh, but I picked up my name just through rapping in the street, so I was Logic. So I'm not sure if I was taking on that name at the time, but that was the name that was given to me, just from my demeanor, just from my raps, and just everything. Boom, I was Logic. So I don't know if that's what I was going by, but so I get up there. I'm a musician, right? I left school. I'm up here. I don't really know what. Look, I got to make something happen, and it's not going to happen in West Virginia. I got to go where the music business is. So I get to New York. I'm talking to the homeless guy or the student or the musician who's trying to get back home. And the lesson I got was, look, keep enough money so you can get back home. So I remembered that. So I'm out there, and I want to say for maybe the first night, I think the first night I slept, maybe I slept at the Y. Because the YMCA had like rooms. And I'm not even sure what would be the technical or the official name for them, but they had these rooms, and I got one. And my bro, Raheem, he was just helping me out throughout this whole ordeal. I believe he was the one who even told me, yo, this is where you got to try to find this. And he looked online and found the address. So he gave me the address, and I hopped on the train. So I did that like my first night, but I knew that, look, well, you got to keep enough money to get home. So I had that in my mind, and I'm just hanging out just in Manhattan. So I slept in the bus station. I slept in the train station. I remember even, because this is like winter. This is the winter. It's probably January. This is the worst time to be up there. It's cold. So I remember they were the police were rounding up homeless people, putting them all in a van and taking them to this building it was like around Greenwich Village. So it was around there. And I guess that's where they were processing you. But I met this guy. He was like, yo, you need to keep your ID on you. Like, yo, you need to keep it tight on you, because that's what people will steal at. So he's putting me on. He's put me on like, yo, this is what you need to do. And then I had another homeless guy. He was put me on too. Look, man, you need to get you a Bally. So you go to the library, you get you a library card, and then you sign up for a trial membership at Bally's. And that way you can go in, you take your shower. So everybody was just putting me on to, living that homeless life in New York. And I remember I would go to the Hard Rock Cafe in Lucille's. I want to say it's Lucille's. It was like right next to it, or right across. And musicians would come in. So I can't even think of the guy, the musician name, but he was a saxophone player. And he was from New York. And he actually had a sneaker deal. I want to say he had a sneaker deal with Jordans, or Nike, either Nike or Jordan. And he had this deal, but he was like the first musician with a shoe deal. And I just can't think of his name, but he was performing, and the band that was playing for him was from Jersey. So I'm a musician, so of course I can talk, and I'm just chilling, I'm meeting, just hanging out with the band. They like, yo, man, we headed back to Jersey. You try and roll? So I'm like, let me just make sure. Yeah, all right. Just want to cue that up. I don't want to, because these wires are flipping all over. So he like, yo, man, we going to Jersey. What up? You try and roll? And I'm like, nah. Right? Which it's like, man, these are these moments in your life that you just feel like, yo, man, this is what I need to be doing. I need to go there. I need to be on this. And I want to say before, what even made me go to New York is I went to Atlanta, and I met a couple producers. And this has happened throughout my life. Like I've met, I remember when Drew Hill back in high school, when they really came on the scene, I met a couple of their managers. Now, I never met them, so I don't really know how it all worked out. But these guys, I mean, they definitely they had access to expensive studios, and I was telling them about my dog Deron, like, yo, man, he the best. And they found him. And then me and him went to the studio, and we were looking at this other group that they were trying to put on. And the producer, one of the producers, I guess just where he just saw that I was looking out for Deron and that I was really trying to put Deron on, and usually people in that situation try to get on for themselves. He just saw that and he liked it. So he was like, yo, man, I'm trying to work with you. And I got to admit, I mean, I did have a look. I had the dreads. Like, you look, man, your boy was on top. Your boy wasn't playing out there in them Baltimore streets, okay? So I've had opportunities like that before. And I remember meeting the RZA. And the RZA was a huge influence on me just as a rapper. We used to recite Snoop Dogg's album every day from in middle school. We would recite it every day, walking to school, coming home. So it was, but I didn't start rapping on my own until Wu-Tang and the RZA and the Grave Diggers. Like Grave Diggers is like my first coming out, rapping, freestyling party. So I took on a lot of the RZA's characteristics. So I met him in Atlanta, but that was like a music conference, and I met an executive from Sony, right? And so he's taking a piss. Look, man, you gotta seize on opportunities when you get them. You just can't wait. You can't wait. Look, man, it's me and him. He in there shaking his dick. Look, man, I need some advice. Like, look, man, let me wash my hands first. So I told him, look, man, how can I do this, man? Look, I mean, I don't got time to be waiting for y'all to believe in me. What can I do until then? So he was the one really who gave me the game plan. It was this executive from Sony. He was like, yo, you got to develop. He was like, yo, develop. and there's a word for it. It's something along the lines of develop and like talent development. But he said it, and like I said, I've been away from that industry and that stuff for so long. I forgot the lingo and the terminology, but I was definitely sharp at the time, and he was saying like, yo, this is a dying, like, companies aren't developing acts anymore. So in the 70s, even before then, companies were developing acts, right? And probably I would say the 70s. I wouldn't say before, but at the same time, you always had hits. So if you look at the Beatles weren't, I guess they weren't developed, but maybe they were. I don't know. But during like the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, they were developing talent. And so he was like, yo, that's what you need to do. Yo, how can I develop myself then? I mean, because if y'all not doing it and I got to wait for y'all to believe in me, like, yo, man, who knows how long that's going to be? Who knows if that's ever going to happen? So he gave me the game plan. Yo, look, this is what you need to do. You need to do shows. You need to build up your fan base. So, all right, boom, that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, I met some big producers and talking to them, and one of them was like, yo, let's go to Yo, we going to LA. What's up, man? You trying to roll? And I want to say, you know, I always had commitments, like, so I just wasn't in a position to roll. Should I have rolled? You just never know. I want to say that no. I mean, in a different timeline, did I roll? Maybe that was what got me on, but maybe not. I mean, you just never know, right? So, but I went to New York, I guess at some point. I don't know what I was thinking, but along the lines of you gotta go where the businesses are, right? You gotta go where these record labels are and just try to shop yourself, try to get out there. So that was the whole idea. But my time in New York, eventually I auditioned because I'm a musician, so I can make money. I can still gig and be a musician up there. So I eventually auditioned for Apollo, but I wasn't ready. So they were starting up Apollo. They were starting to back up. So I went to Harlem. I think I even met a bass player. I just saw him on a train. I was like, yo, where the musicians at? Right? So your boy out there seizing on opportunity. Like that's the big thing. You gotta seize on opportunity. You gotta believe. You gotta believe in yourself. Whenever you feel like this is a move that you need to do it. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. So I hit the bass player up. He was like, yo, we up. I want to say maybe they was on Linux, or they was on somewhere. I want maybe the Apollo was on Linux, but he was telling me where the musicians are, and this is where you got to go. And then I want to say he was like, yo, the Apollo starting up. Go over there and audition. Like, yo, go over there. There might be a couple of musicians there. You can get on. So I did that, but like I said, I wasn't ready. I just didn't have a skill. My music chops wasn't there. My writing, as far as my raps, I didn't have any raps. So my time in New York was a reflection on myself, letting me know that I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for the big leagues. And you figure, I mean, at this time, it's already shifting to Atlanta. But I had success. I had, I met some producers. I knew a couple rap groups, right? And I definitely had opportunities there as well. But my product wasn't ready. My product wasn't developed. I had to develop my product. I had to develop myself. So I went back to the drawing board. I went back to West Virginia. And I went back with the intent of just developing myself, developing the product, getting myself strong, getting the music strong, having some songs, right? And so, boom, we started going through this whole thing. Now, when I went to Atlanta, I got hooked up with CSAC. So you got, ASAP, not ASAP, ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC. And these are all the companies that go after your money when your songs make it on the radio. So if you're a writer, producer, or singer, rapper, and you have some type of credit, these companies will keep track of your money. How much are you making as far as your radio spins? Each time your song is played on the radio, you get a certain percentage. They get a certain percentage for going after it, and they cut you a check quarterly. So I signed up with CSAC during this time, and so I had the name. So I had to form my publishing company, which was Uncle Ned's Music, and then my record label. So my Uncle Ned, that's who I did Uncle Ned's Music, and I want to say that my label was George Marshall Records. Right, and so that's my father, and I was thinking of, okay, what is my name? Right, am I going to be Logic? I really couldn't think of my name, and then I remembered somebody like, yo, Bobby Miles sound like a jazz musician. Bobby Miles, hey man, I'm Bobby Miles. What you guys doing over there, Daddy? So, all right, you got Bobby Miles. You cut the B, right? The B, the O, the B, the B, the Y, the D. Like, so you cut all of that. You just got the B-O, right? So that's my mom. That's my mom's name. That's what they like. All of my cousins, they like Aunt Bo. Right, and the last name is Miles, so I took her name. I took her name for my name and made his name. so that's how I got the name Bo Miles. So Bo Miles is actually my mom's name. And this is right, y'all know my mom just passed away a month ago, so I took her name way before her death. Because I wanted to honor her in life, right? I didn't know how much time I was going to have with her, but I wanted her to know that I loved her and that I wasn't ashamed of her. And I gotta keep hold of myself so I don't just start breaking down and crying right on the cast, because that would make it. That would make it. I wouldn't edit it out. Y'all just had to hear me sniffle and cry, you know. It'd be, so y'all would just have to hear all of that, right? But I had to pull it together, right? But so I took her name, and that's where the name Bo Miles. So we got the name Bo Miles. It's my mom's name. We got my dad's name. We got my Uncle Ned, which was, I want to say he was like one of my favorite uncles. Like my mom's brother is my uncle, right? My Uncle Ned and Joe, those are my mother's uncles. So these are like, I guess grand uncles, right? So my favorite uncle is my only uncle, but my grand uncles, Uncle Ned, he was. It's hard because I loved his brother Joe, my Uncle Joe as well. So both of them, but I took on Uncle Ned for my publishing. I had my dad for my label. And then I took on my mom's name for my name, right? So it's just, this is where I came from. This is where I'm coming from. These are the experiences that create and that mold and that made me. So I had to just do it for them, right? You had to be able to trace it back, right? Where does it lead to, right? Logic, the name Logic was because of who I am. And the streets just saw me as, look, he's a conscious rapper. But Bo Miles, I want to say that signified family. And that signified experience, right? So family was more important than knowledge. Family is more important than money, than fame, right? That's what Bo Miles represents. and taking on my uncle and my dad and my mom's name, it was just saying that family is more important. And if a name had to go beyond my life, what is the name that I want to go beyond my life? And it was my mom's name. It was my dad's name, and it was my uncle's name, right? When it's all said and done, those will be the names that will be talked about. Even though the shell, Bobby the Shell is what comes to mind to those who met me. But once you go past and once you go beyond me, 20, 30, 50, 100 years, in that name, boom, it's going to be my mother's name that'll last forever. My name will be forgotten, right? So that was to some extent, I believe that I thought of all of this, but in the moment, you don't really think. But what I wanted in the moment was, I want to honor my mom, right? And this is the best way, is to take her name and to do something great with it. So that was the thing. So then we had to look, boom, we got the name. So you got the name, right? So we like, all right, boom. Now, let's get the songs. We got to get the songs. Now, the music side of things, I knew that basic production, basic hip hop production, and me playing the piano, it just didn't mix, because basic beats and hip hop stuff is like, let's see. I can't even think of something that was popular. It's something popular now. Who knows? I can't even think of any popular songs. But I'm glad, because I'm sure they would come after me. Hey, you got to take this podcast down because you're singing our melody and you got to pay $2 every time someone downloads it. Like, oh, man, y'all wilding out here, man. It's crazy out here. So you take a beat. Boom, 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 boom. Right, so you got that, and you loop it, but it's just a melody, and it's not thick enough. If you're playing the piano and you're rapping, it's not thick enough. So I had to go back to the album Lauryn Hill, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. My dog Dennis, he had it, and that's who I live with. That's when I told you guys that I wanted to just check out, right? So me and Dennis, we had got a condo. I'm a kid, so I'm doing it up. And that was definitely a big thing with the ladies. They liked that. Your boy had his own spot. But I really didn't have my own spot. It wasn't in my name. But hey, at least I felt like I had my own spot. That's really all that matters. Because if you feel like it and you're telling people it, and the girls, they believe you, okay? And I believed it, so of course they believed it. But in actuality, me looking back, I didn't have my own place. I was living with Dennis. So that was my dog. He passed away when I was in college. And that story, I'll tell that story maybe another time. But yeah, so that was crazy. But anyway, so I had to go back to the Lauryn Hill album, because Lauryn Hill, her music was thick. Her music was music, right? Which this is not shot at anybody. Look, man, Soulja Boy, he doesn't make music. No, he make music. And Drake and the Baby and Lil Baby and Young this and Young that, all of that stuff, that's music, So I'm not saying that, but Lauryn Hill, her music was chords and progressions, and it was thick and fat, and a band could play. And that was my idea. Look, I need to get with a band. right? So I really pulled from her album. I really pulled a lot, and I think that's what allowed me to sing. I really didn't see myself as a singer back then. Like I said, this is done maybe 2006, 2007. Between 2006 or I would say between 2006 to 2012. Within that time, this is the album. I'm not really sure with the dates, but I'm sure I could find out. But just me talking, I don't know. So we got the Lauryn Hill. I'm looking at that, and that's what I'm really trying to draw inspiration from. That's how this is how I need to get the music. I need to get everything that's going to be thick and strong. Boom. Pull inspiration from Lauryn Hill. And something that was, because like I said, the whole idea of the album is the reflection of my life. The artistry of is the experience and all the experiences that I've been through in my life set to music. So you listen to this album, you should get an idea of these stories that I tell. You should have a sense of how it was growing up in Baltimore during the 80s and the 90s. Like, that's the whole idea. So that's what the music should represent. And one of the things, just getting to the intro, because we got the name of the album, we got my name, right? So now I'm no longer Logic, I'm no longer Bobby, but I'm Bo Miles, which is my mom, right? So we have all of these things, and one of the things that stands out as a kid are Saturday morning cartoons and TV shows, right? TV shows had the intros. Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. Right? You had that. You had one of my favorites. You had Zoobilee, 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 Zoobilee. Right? So you had all of these songs, and what is it? Making it in the world today takes everything you got. Getting away from all your troubles sure will help a lot. Boo-doo-doo, what do you like to get away? Right? So you got all of these songs, like just the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. You just had all of these songs. I mean, it's just so crazy. Chip it down, rescue Ray, chip it down. Right? Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Just take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. Right? So you got all of these songs, you got all of this music as a kid, and it's all linked to positivity, it's all linked to good times, it's all linked to cereal, just good old fashioned sugary cereal, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Captain Crunch, Frosted Flakes, Rice Krispies. Like, you know, that's what all of this music is linked to. And I wanted to capture that for an intro, right? So we go with the PBS. That was huge. Like, y'all heard me do the Butterfly in the Sky. We did Reading Rainbow. We did Zoobilee Zoo, right? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Like, oh, you got Mr. Rogers out there. He on the piano. He a monster, right? So look, I had the Sesame Street, right? And so Sesame Street, you had the song with the words, right? And after, when it went off, it was just the music. It was the instrumental, and that's where my intro came from. That idea, right? So, you know, I'm thinking of all of these jingles and all of these things, but that's where it came from, right? So let's go ahead, and now we're in it. Let's get into it.
Let me introduce you to Bo Miles, a unique and likable guy. Everyday life, friends and family makes up the
wrote that. I played the piano, and I got Phil Washington. He's a musician from Detroit, I believe. He's from Detroit, but he was working in West Virginia at the time. Just an excellent guitarist and an excellent singer. So I got him to do that for me, and so he's the one who's singing. Some of the I'm not gonna be able to give credit to everybody who's on the album, only because I don't have your name and I didn't write it down. Like, this is a demo. It's released as a demo on YouTube. So those of you who would like to just go and get it, you can go. And I think I'll post it on maybe the Artistry of page, the Artistry of Facebook page. But you can just, if you type in Bo Miles, the Artistry of full album, it'll come up. If you type in Bo Miles, the Artistry of, you should see it. It'll be a picture of me as a kid. I think this was maybe my second grade, between, I would say, second to fifth. It's hard to tell. But I want to say I was probably between the second, K through 5. Look, let's just go a lot, and then at K through 5, one of them, and this is where that picture comes from. And then in the background is a locker. This is college. This is actually West Virginia State University's music hall, which is Davis Fine Arts building. So that's where the image in the background. And you can actually see my older self, if you look hard enough, is looking into this picture of my younger self. So that's pretty fresh. That's pretty dizopsies. Let's get into it. Let's check it out. They live. But I guess I got to learn sometimes. Now I remember a time not too long ago, before I called you I said you was a hoe. Way before we met, when we would cross, I would speak, and you would look up and smile like you was being discreet. And that's what kept me going, girl. Feed me that mystery. Got a nigga on the future, trying to imagine your history and wondering if you's a daddy's girl or got 3 or 4 brothers. Do a nigga gotta deal with your mother? Maybe I know your cousin. Damn, hope I ain't hit that, cause I know about the Mexes, but they get put at right with the untouchables. Next time I see you, I'ma say something. Just hope that I don't tell you that I love you, cause you never understand my vision. You're the reason why I'm here existing. You're my reason for living, so let nature bring what it may. But when I saw you the next day, I forgot what to say. You shoulda, coulda, woulda, I kept them so long. But the shoulda, coulda. All right, so we'll pause it there, because instead of waiting to the end, I'll just say something and then we'll jump right back into it. But I don't know. This will probably be the only one, because for the most part, some people, this will be your first time listening to the music, and look, I don't know. We'll just have to play it by ear, okay? But if those of you who just want to listen without me talking, just type in Bo Miles, the Artistry of, on YouTube. I might put it on iTunes to sell. I might do that. So we'll see. I'm not really worried about it. It's been out, like I said, I finished it maybe between 2006, 2012. I finished it. And I didn't make any money off of it for those years all the way up until now. So it doesn't matter if I don't make any money off of it moving forward. So it doesn't matter. But we'll definitely look into it. But anyway, to speak on it, I'll only tidbits that I would have from this is during the time that I wrote this, I had already been through a divorce from my first wife. So that's more of just college love and just like, man, so that marriage probably didn't even last 2 years. So but I still, those are some of the inspiration, like just that life and those experiences are in this song, as well as a couple high school engagements and like my first girlfriend, my first real girlfriend. And I would say real girlfriend because like we didn't have sex or anything. I was probably like 11 when I met her, but she was like my first real girlfriend, other than because in elementary school and even middle school, because we went to different middle schools. Her cousin lived in the neighborhood, and that's how I met her, right? So we went to different, and every now and then, I guess whenever she would visit her cousin, then she would come over, and I would go over to her cousin's, which is Barbara. I don't really have anything negative to say, so I can say their name. Some people that I feel like I might embarrass them or cast a dark light, I won't say their names, but sometimes I will, because but people who really mean a lot to me, I'm not going to cast a negative or a dark light on them. So her cousin was Barbara. I don't know if I'm gonna say her name. I might. You just never know. It's because she I want to say that like her story, and then my first wife, their story, and maybe another girlfriend, is what I combined all three of those to tell this one song, right? To tell this one tale. So I meet this girl. I want to say at least in the first verse, I meet her, and let's check it out. See what else happens. Oh yeah. The girl Destiny is who sings this hook for me, and I met her through one of my dear close friends. She's like a sister to me, Tanya. She put me on. She's like, hey, I know somebody who sings, this girl at my church, and I'm sure she'll come through and sing. And I want to say I paid her. I definitely want to say I paid everybody who did some work on this album. So Destiny, you did a good job. The vocals are good. I just didn't do any processes. This is just a demo. So.
When I first asked you out that day, gray clouds raining, pouring in your face, so I asked your name and you didn't complain. Proceeded out of the rain, then I gave you the same, and from that point we were inseparable. You told me from the first time you saw me that I was the one for you. When them niggas try to spit game at you, you lifted your head but never once looked backwards, and that's real. This shit ain't never been easy, and I swear I felt uncomfortable every time I tried to be sneaky. Sneakers was only the half, the reasons were in the past. Those questions I had to laugh just to keep cool. But you had the Mrs. Sherlock Holmes, was wondering what I'm doing. Started checking my phone bill. I know that she got ill, the number started hatching. I remember who I said I was talking to, their names ain't matching up.
Alright, so one of the things that's standing out to me is, so during this time I started to study the top rappers of my time. So it was Nas, Jay-Z, and Biggie. So I could hear some of those. I can hear some Jay-Z cadences, and it's crazy because as a kid, I didn't really listen to Jay-Z. I didn't like. I liked Dead Presidents. That was a hot song. I just like Nas. So I was more of a Nas fan. But later on, when I started studying, I studied, and I think I took more from Jay-Z. I took a lot from Big as well, but I don't know how much it comes out. But I want to say that I took a lot more from Jay-Z than anybody, and that's just crazy because I didn't even listen to him coming up. So, but I know why, because he was more successful, and I could say that he is more successful from a financial standpoint, far as how your life turned out and things that happen. I don't know. I can't speak and say who is more successful, but I'm sure that both of them, Jay-Z and Nas, are pretty happy with their life. So, but it's just crazy as I listen to the cadences and the raps, like I can hear Jay-Z, and it's just weird. You would think that I was a huge Jay-Z fan. Pretty much. Check.
We took a break, but I swear in my mind I thought of you. You went and had a little girl. What was I to do? I was supposed to be your father. You were supposed to be my wife. We stayed up and talked about it late every night. I should have told you about that shorty on the east I was breaking up with, but I ain't wanna lose you again. I swear you was my best friend, that's why I didn't tell you. You would've just walked away, and I couldn't have let you. So I kept you in the dark and tried to stretch it out somehow, not knowing I would do you so foul. Accepted your body, but not your phone calls. Man, I was a coward. Damn, I should've called. Told you the whole truth. Gave you the choice to make what is right for you. Kept each other's grace. Instead, I burned down the bridges and I miss you, partner. I swear I never meant to hurt your sister.
You should've, could've, would've. I kept them so long, but you should've, could've, would've. Gone.
So that verse, that last verse, that was a situation that I actually found myself in with my first girlfriend, and so at the time we had just been separated through life. That's just how it is in the hood, and just in life sometimes you just get separated. So life had brought us back together. It's just crazy. Years ago. So years later, we come back together. But I have a girlfriend who I'm really just breaking up with. Right? I mean, we're already at the point where we just really weren't seeing eye to eye. We weren't having the same vision anymore for our future. So I'm breaking up with her, and I want to say it was Valentine's Day. So I was supposed to go, with my first girlfriend, and we were going to just have a good Valentine's Day. But my current girlfriend at the time, she had wanted me to come over. And I think this is something that guys do a lot, where you feel like you don't want to end it. You want them to be the one to end it. And I guess some guys are like that, because not all guys are like that, but I was like that, where I wanted the girl to end it. I didn't want to break up with any girl. So at that time, I never broke up with any girls. They had if it was over, it was because they wanted it to be over. They didn't want anything. So that's how it was going. So instead of being with my first girlfriend from freaking middle school, right, I went over to my current girlfriend instead of just being a man and breaking up with her days before or weeks before. And I think the time, so like let's say I was supposed to be with my middle school honey. I was supposed to get with her at noon, right? So I didn't get back home till maybe 5. And I'm sure, I don't even know, like I didn't have a cell phone at the time. So it was no cell phones. Maybe I was supposed to just call. I don't know how we were supposed to get together. I don't even remember that part, but I didn't. And she just, I really hurt her. And, it was bad. It just was bad. And I don't even know if I saw her again, but I know I saw her cousin, the barber. And she was like, yo, what happened? What happened with, la, la, la. And she was like, yo, she don't even want to hear your name. So it was like, man, I knew that I fucked up. I just knew it. Like, man, I fucked this shit up. So that's that. And that's what this song is really the encompassing. Even though like I said, I took 3 relationships and wrote them all as one, but hers is really the main theme, and the main one that I feel like out of all my relationships, I just wish that I could have did that when a better, right? I could have been a better person in that relationship. I really wish and that's where the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, the whole idea for the song actually.
We shoulda, coulda, woulda, they live in my home, but I guess I got to learn to move on.
I draw attention like black guys. They love me like thick thighs with wide hips. Man, that's on my wall. I don't know about y'all, but can I get some? Oh, I forgot. I'm the one passing out to all. This goes out to all. To my cats that's ballin', to my dudes in jail that nobody's calling, to my girls who be boosting for fun because they ain't having fun. So when they do it, man, they just having fun. To my serious ladies who sometimes hate me, and they jealous ass men who be borderline crazy. Just chill, my niggas, sit back and take the Xanax. Don't worry about this music, cause I got this. I come with the hotness that's so hot that it's cold, that's so cold that it's hot. Touch your soul and won't let go until the goosebumps on your neck raise. Y'all know what they say. Counting by tens or two.
So this song, the biggest thing to make note of is if this was a released album with a budget or just a team, I would have got some kids to sing that. So that's me, and I just manipulated my voice in Pro Tools to kind of get it to just sound like somebody different. So that's something that I would do. The music is pretty simple. I want to say that it's in the vein of Jay-Z, kind of Hard Knock Life and Jigga. So those Jigga, my nigga, who I'm rolling with, I want to say it's kind of those two things and just that bounce, bing, 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 bing. So you got that Hard Knock Life, and like I said, you got the Jigga. So though that's the idea for that. Far as lyrical content, it's just filling up space, I guess. I don't know.
Use the vibes on a boring day, taking a long ride.
Oh yeah, and then some songs I recorded while my girlfriend at the time is upstairs. So I'm just talking like I'm not really rapping into the mic. I'm actually trying to keep it low because I really didn't expect anybody to hear it. It was really for me to listen to and just kind of make sure that I remembered. So that's the reason why I even made the demos, is that, okay, listen to it. This way you can remember your whole stuff, and you get out there and you start touring. So, which touring just meant you were going to different open mics. So all around the city, and then I went to start going to Ohio. So just moving west, just kind of creating a radius for myself to perform at various open mics. So that's the whole idea. No one was going to hear these tracks and these vocals, but hey, that's the way it turned out. You guys are hearing it, so that's why it's kind of sounds. So some of them will sound like I'm just like, hey, so you don't want with as opposed to, really giving you my rap voice. I don't give you my rap voice on a lot of these songs, so that's why.
Let the breeze just blow through your fingers, right? Or put your people staying up all through the night. Get into the theme park. What's your favorite ride? Before you leave, my homie, come and get a prize. I'm like a winning lottery ticket when the bills ain't paid. I'm like a big ass umbrella on a rainy day, a tree giving out the shade. Y'all can come and play. I got the juice, my nigga. Who got the Tangeray? Oh, get those big cups. People can't get enough. Mommy's hopping out they trucks. That's what's up. When I raise up my hand and my fingers touch them keys, I might tap my left foot just to catch the beat. Whizzing up and down the board, I'm like a seesaw. And y'all can take it to the chorus, y'all. Days come and they do come black, filling out apps but they don't call back. Even when the sun is shining, you can feel pain. Living in a mansion, still go to a better place. When you hate your job, nobody likes you. The other week y'all was laughing, they wanna fight you. The car won't start, and when it does, it smokes up. The girl you wanna holler at, damn, she pulls up. She starts coughing, a girl starts laughing, you start sobbing, your car starts acting up. The light changed, know it too well, but I believe I played them blues. You just paying your dues, so go ahead and pay them. I'ma go ahead and play them. One of those 12-bar progressions, they keep their heads swaying all to the early morning, keep the people saying, man, I'm just saying.
Bo knows this, and Bo knows that.
All right, so before we get into this one, this is the first song. This is the first song that I wrote for this album, and I actually went to I guess a music producer. And I did the music. I did everything, but I went to someone else who had a studio, this music producer, and he had a studio. I didn't have a studio at the time, so I didn't have a studio, but I had the music, right? Because I had a Phantom. That's all the music was done off on the Roland Phantom X7. So that was the board that I had. So I made all the music that you guys are hearing and that you guys are going to hear. So I had the music. I wrote the song. This is my first song. I go to this producer and using his studio. And I want to say that, I don't even remember how much money I paid, but I paid a lot of money, right? It's just one song. And I'm like, man, you do the math on this, man, for I don't know how many songs are on here, or how many songs I had in my mind. Maybe I had like 21 songs in my mind. And it's like, yo, man, this ain't going to work. So after this experience, and after I want to say the guy name was Bob Webb, a producer, musician, engineer. He recorded the vocals. So we recorded the vocals over his place and just his stuff. And then I don't even know how I found them, but I found one of like Dre and Eminem's engineers. Like I said, I don't even know how I found this guy. But I sent him the vocals and the music, and he was like, "Man, this is the worst song that I've ever heard in my life." He was like, "Man, I'm a professional. I handle Eminem and Dre and all of these big guys, big time stuff." He was like, "Man, this is the worst." And he was like, "Man, he was saying like, look, man, don't send me no more music. Like, don't send me no more work. Just look, man, you are lame. You're trash. This song is trash. You are trash. I just did it out of look. I don't even know why I did it. Why I finished this, but it was funny, but like just him saying all of that stuff, and like he said it to me, like he didn't write it in a letter. He didn't send me an email, like, he just said it over the phone, like, man, like, don't send me nothing, don't send me no shit like this again, man. You are trash. This song is trash. Like, I'm a professional. So yeah, that was funny. But and after working with him, so then I'm like, all right, well, I just gotta do this myself. Then and I think that's one of the big things that just kind of it kills your momentum is when you gotta do everything. You gotta be the singer, the rapper, the writer, the producer, the engineer. Like, oh my goodness, man. I just need some help. Help. Anybody help? So yeah, it's just funny though. I remember just him like just going in like, yo, man, this is horrible. Like, yo, man, this is super trash. I'm a professional. I shouldn't even have done anything to this. So he definitely cleaned it up, and he definitely like throw in like some reverb, and he just, he definitely hooked it up. And I felt like, yeah, thanks. But as far as the production and the beat and the music and everything, I did all of that. But I guess there was a lot of vocal areas that if I would have been doing him, he would have told me to do it over again. I'll do it again. So, hey, man, it is what it is. So this is actually the first song that I wrote for this album. And after just spending the money to get it recorded and spending the money to get it, I don't know if it's called mastered or engineered or whatever, but just spending that money to get it kind of finished, put some makeup on it. Like, it was like, yo, man, this is expensive. You talking about for 20 songs? Like, yo, this is a lot of money. So that's why I'm like, nah, I got to just do the rest myself.
He play the keys and the nigga raps at
But
the same time.
he did a good job.
About
So
that.
I don't remember your name, but thank
Bo
you.
knows this and Bo knows that. He said it all, said it on wax. If you got a problem, then that's that.
Hey, when you see him coming, better look both ways. Niggas know me, I ain't talking about haze. Fuck around with me, I'll leave your ass where you stay. Hey, straight to the top, I grind hard, I fly, man. Niggas been feeling for so long like Tarzan. I swing through them blocks, here I come ready or not. I put my hand on them keys, them hands start to bob. I like bebop, Charlie Walker, Bud Powell. Real fast, man, lifestyle, real well. Legs open, got a moment with a top down. Nipples hard, but I gotta leave the spot now. Oops, the call I sold, don't wanna take it, but it's about the money I sold. You gotta make it, God, on up, nigga. I drop 5, look mine in the eye. nigga, but let me get the D. Don't try to sign me up if I ain't the owner G. I'ma leave your ass wherever you be. Ain't no disrespect, but it's just business. And if I ain't making profit, we can end this. Hey, when you see him coming, better look both ways. Niggas know me, I ain't talking about haze. Walk around with me, I'll leave your ass where you stay. Hey.
Who knows this? And who knows that? He play the keys and the nigga raps at the same time. What you think about that? Who knows this? And who knows that? He said it all, said it on wax. If you got a problem, then that's that.
Hey, when you see him coming, better look both ways. Niggas know me, I ain't talking about haze. Walk around with me, I'll leave your ass where you stay. Hey, time's a pressure cooker, rhymes a pressure reducer. Life's a sweet looker, but a bitch like Medusa. My niggas drank the pain away just to get through her. I try to write my pain away, try to talk to her, but she laughed at me, asked me who's my pappy. I said I didn't know, she said exactly. So I don't stress that bitch, I just keep it nappy. Yeah, life is tough, as if you ever asked me. Shit ain't never all good, dry them tears from your eyes. Niggas die every day, ain't no time for goodbyes. Get head low and keep grinding, and due time, nigga, you'll be shining. I took heed of the words and took my head low. Stayed away from that shit, but most niggas don't. Had to get in them keys to get my weight right. Flat a couple fibs and stretch my mates right. Now I'm out of sight, but they keep me in their minds. You can catch me at a few spots just killing time. Never question my life, you know I walk the line. Will I be on the top, it's just a matter of time. Hey, when you see him coming, better look both ways. Niggas know me, I ain't talking about haze. Walk around with me, I'll leave your ass where you stay. Hey.
Who knows this? And who knows that? He play the keys and the nigga raps at the same time. What you think about that? Who knows this? And who knows that? He said it all, said it on wax. If you got a problem, then that's that.
Hey, when you see him coming, better look both ways. Niggas know me, I ain't talking about haze. Walk around with me, I'll leave your ass where you stay. Hey.
Yeah, I liked it. Look, I don't care. I'm like the only person who liked this song, but you know, look, I don't care. I still like it. I like the music. I can hear Dre influence in the music. I can definitely hear the RZA influence. I can hear 50 Cent. I can hear 50 Cent in one of those lines. So I use 50 Cent cadences there. So yeah, I definitely liked it. And I did a music video for this one as well. You can see that I did it using Grand Theft Auto 4. So I like cut up the video and cut up some scenes in there to create a music video. So that was fun. So yeah, it was cool. That was cool. Even though that guy, he didn't like it. He didn't like that work. This next song, I don't remember the guy who's singing on it, but the idea, he got paid, so don't worry, he got paid. And the idea, I wanted a Jamaican, like with the raspy voice. So that's what I wanted. I wanted like a raspy voice. This guy, he didn't have a raspy voice, so we made it work. I still liked it. The music is actually Bach, one of Bach's inventions. So this is a Bach invention. That's what I used the theme for the song. And what else about it? It's like a two-part beat. So, I want to say that's like some RZA production. I got that from RZA, using where your beat has two parts to it. And the music, the story I talk about, like when I almost drowned. Remember, I was telling you guys that's why I didn't drown myself, because that sucked. So that story makes it in here. And some other various stories. I don't know how many of them are specifically me, But hey, let's check it out.
What you know about being in the water, taking deep breaths, fighting to get some air, feel it in your chest, the pain, it ain't leaving your brain, ain't adapting, while you out struggling, motherfuckers laughing, you gotta be a savior, nobody can save you, gotta keep moving, let nobody break it, you only been around for 6 years, so when your light slowly start to flash it in here, tell me that you ain't scared, when you talk to God and you ain't tears, talking about your life and all the things that you ain't did, you pray for a moment, that's another second. When you touch that concrete, damn, it feels like granite. Everybody standing, you get out that water. On your hand, your knees, you look back at that water. You were supposed to die at that shit that you conquered. Then you start coughing, never get your promise. Never waste a moment, rain, sleet, hail, snow. Or the summertime when the wind don't blow. The only thing we know for sure, you ain't gonna catch me asleep. Cause we out here, we playing for keeps.
You don't want with a murderer. You don't wanna get murdered. If you want it with a murderer, come step up. But if you feel irate, you don't want with a murderer. You don't wanna get murdered. If you want it with a murderer, come step up. But
What you know about not know who your daddy was? Not created out of love. Only reason here, nigga wanna know, wanna get in your mama cause she got your daddy features. That's another story, but mama got a white beater. A real fucking nightmare, get no sleep. And ever since you moved in, you ain't slept in weeks. Wish you had some heat. You would go in the room and unload and tell that pretty boy where to go to. Let me hit your mama for the last time. You said the next time it won't be no reminders. Then you look at him while he's slapping. Then he looks up and makes eye contact. You rush him as fast as you possibly can. About to put up with a man you don't even think you can. Take the first blow, but you don't want more. Gotta keep fighting cause mama on the floor. Eye of the tiger, clash of the titans. I'm so weak, but you keep fighting. Look him in the face, see fatigue in his eyes. You might have took an L, but your words he never tried cause
you don't want with a murderer. You don't wanna get
There, I feel like, you know, it's self-explanatory, just abusive relationships. I think everyone can kind of relate to that. Not everyone, but most people can relate to that type of stuff.
What you know about never been in love or faking like you was, acting like your feelings hurt really just because you wanna be normal, don't wanna be different. Try to tell somebody but nobody will listen. Can't they see you missing half of your marbles? Teachers say you stupid, peers think you smart though. Everybody loves you, what you came from. Can't look at them too long, they might see what you become. Somebody on the run that hates yourself. Can it be also simple would erase yourself? Don't relate to wealth, who was brought up poor. Know you looking for something but don't know what you looking for. Kneel on the floor, nails in your knees, inflict more pain if you ever taste defeat. Don't care if they cheat, gotta be the best, the rest gon' see. Rest in peace, the weak gon' live, the strong gon' die. The weak gon' run, the strong gon' fight. Look towards the sky when you see a full moon and
This was fresh. I definitely enjoyed the song, and I like just the content that was covered, you know. And I feel like as a kid, you don't really, especially coming from a rough environment, coming from an environment where there's so much death, you don't have time for love. So I just feel that's me expressing myself as a kid who you don't really know love, because when people are dying around you from violence, it just puts you're in a frame of mind where you have to be ready for death yourself. and you're out there, you know that any minute could be your minute, and you could go in some type of violent way. And I think when you're in that situation, that you really don't comprehend love. And so that's what that third verse is. The second verse, like I said, is abusive relationships, parental abusive relationships. Mom is in an abusive relationship. And the first verse was actually me after my experience of almost drowning, and I had to save myself because the lifeguard was teaching people how to dive in a no-diving pool, and like nobody was coming to save me. Like I had to just keep going. And I just remember when my feet finally touched the ground, like, I just remember that feeling, like, finally. Like I just knew that it was going to be over. It was crazy, but that's just how it is when you're out here in the streets. Let's check this next one out.
You don't want with a murderer. You don't want to get murdered. If you want it with a murderer, come step up, boy, if you feel irate. You don't want with a murderer. You don't want to get murdered. If you want it with a murderer, come step up, boy, if you feel irate. You don't want with a murderer. You don't want to get murdered. If you want it with a murderer, come step up, boy, if you feel irate.
Said it's all in me. Yeah, that's what I like. Hanging all the night, even on the fucking die. Said it's all in me. Like calling me. Who that? Oh yeah, that's what I like. Said it's all in me. Oh, yeah, that's what I like. Hanging all the night, even on the fucking die. Said it's all in me. Calling me. Who that?
So here, that's. I don't think I'll cut into until the end, right? But here again, you have that bam, 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 right? See, that's a pretty consistent tool in my production toolkit. And lyrically, this is one of my favorite lyrical songs, right? Like I really like the lyrical content of this song. So here we go.
Oh yeah, that's what I like. Once upon a time, lit a nigga up and B-boy say one day he would have the greatest rhymes. Never paid no mind to the criticism and the ridicule. One day that's sure to come. That's what mama told him. Son, keep holding. Never let go and give up on your dreams. Keep your friends a little close, but your enemies closer. Remember, life ain't always what it seems. So I stopped, pause for a second from these wise words. Didn't fully understand what I heard. So I sit upon the curb with a few rocks, throw them at a few cars, spit a few bars, watch they turn the night and catch a few stars. Mama called me in the house, I guess I'm done, y'all. If I don't see you tomorrow, throw a line for me. If it ain't my time, nigga, then shine for me. I just simply the best, like the first time you touch wet pussy. Make him disappear, have a nigga come close, put his nose to your ear, tell him tuck a deep breath, but he smell what you hear, cause my scent won't leave, so they can smell what you heard. A comparison to the last line, nigga just observe, I'm a titan, a unicorn, a real McCoy, the definition. 4x4, I'm just what the game is missing. Said it's all in me, yeah, that's what I like. Hanging out all night, even on the fucking dike. Yeah, it's all in me. Somebody calling me. Who that? Oh yeah, that's what I like. Said it's all in me. Oh, yeah, that's what I like. Hanging out all night, even on the fucking dike. Said it's all in me. Somebody calling me. Who that? Oh yeah, that's what I like. 1 for the money, 2 for pussy, 3 for titties, 4 a fat ass who with me. I remember when I used to play with girls and they dolls, and at night go to sleep wear Superman drawers. It was this girl when we played school. Yeah, I played school. I used to pants rubber after playing school. It's kinda crazy thinking back on all the shit you do. Like man, even back then and I still wanted gooch. Gotta say my taste changed. I remember liking this chick from the first grade. Before intercourse, of course. Maybe she had a pretty face and colorful barrettes, but I remember her treating me like shit. Like, bo, I wouldn't go with you if you was the last boy on earth. Man, that was my first love, so you know that shit hurt. I would've died for you. Can you imagine how that shit was? Liking a chick way before you could bust nuts. Never felt that way again. Not saying I ain't love a chick, but sex always a part of it. That's the first thing I see. Why you think I said in the beginning that 2 was for the pussy, 1 was for the money? Cause money gets the girls, and I swear pussy love me back. That's my word, you don't believe me? I roll my shit out like a poster. Have your girl flying around my dick like she a vulture. Hey! I wanna love you, girl. Place the one above you, girl. You know I love when I see you. I can only complete you, and you know that I need you. I wanna love you, girl. Can't wait to hug you, girl. Cause I've been gone for so long. I want you in my arms, real like a great.
So this song, actually, it was supposed to be like a 2-part, you know. So I sing and then the girl sings. And I wanna love you, boy. Can't wait to hug you, boy. So, and I don't know if I got Destiny to sing it, but maybe I didn't have the vocals, or I'm not really sure why I didn't, or maybe I felt like it just was too long. But yeah, that's the way it was supposed to go. So I would sing, and then a girl would sing after it. Because I want to say I got Destiny to sing 3 songs. One song didn't make it on the album, and that's "You Can." So that song didn't make it on this demo, but I want to say that I recorded, but I just don't know. I don't know what happened to the vocals. Maybe I can try to find it and see if I can find them or whatever. But that's that. So let's go ahead and listen to it. Let's see what kind of music we got.
Song, twinkle, twinkle, little star upon the night I look up where you are.
And I'm using like a 50 Cent cadence in there. So that's what, you know, we got the 50 Cent cadence for the hook, and like I said, it would be a girl would have sung as well, but I'm sure it's just too long.
Princess, let no one come between. I turn her to my queen, and with this ring, yes, I do swear, never to stray away or even compare to any other girls that might be fair. Never heard a hair on a pretty little head, and I meant what I said, so I said what I meant, and I held on to my words till the day you were sent like a gift. Open up my eyes with joy, never be destroyed. You fulfill the void, none that void is gone, only light is here. When I look into your face, it's like I disappear. You're a vision of a sunset on a jet black sand, and you got me in the palm of your hand. Up. I wanna love you, girl. Place no one above you, girl. You know I love when I see you. I can only complete you, and you know that I need you. I wanna love you, girl. Can't wait to hug you, girl. Cause I've been gone for so long. I want you in my arms, real like a great my song. Sherry and more, pretty little thing that I adore. You're the only one that my heart beats for. When I'm gone too long, you know my heart gets sore. I can't take no more, I just miss your lips as they caress my shoulders in the form of a kiss. Put your arms around me, wrapping me up in bliss. I just take your hand, then I kiss your wrist. Give me a kiss, use my lucky charms, kiss you on the arm, singing pink hearts, yellow moons, orange stars, and green clover. The night all sober, not over. You be my Cocoa Mountain, I'll be a soldier. I can get it in till 6 in the morning, putting 7 in till you start the morning. That's an inside joke. Use my baby girl, it's whatever you want. Hey, I wanna love you, girl. Place no one before you, girl. You know I love when I see you. I can only complete you, and you know that I need ya. I wanna love you, girl. Can't wait to hug you, girl.
Yeah.
I've I've been gone for so long, I want you in my arms, feel like a great song. Happily ever after, what we have to punch the bad days when they try to attack you. Your daddy's rich and your mom's good looking. Plus I thank the Lord for you down south cooking. I know we cooking when we walk through the park holding hand. Yes, everybody's looking. Try to catch a peek at PDA all day. Can't turn off my love, don't know what else to say. So I know they plotting when they stop by. I can see it in their eyes, yo, your friends are rotten. They think they gon' catch me slipping. What a few drinks, a few jokes, man, them girls are tripping. I know where my heart at, I know where to start at. I know how to finish your mind, push it far back. Sometimes you gotta fall back to be happy in your own space. Now that's a hell of a place, I wanna love you, girl. Place no one above you, girl. You know I love when I see you. I can only complete you, and you know that I need you. I wanna love you, girl. Can't wait to hug you, girl. 'Cause I've been gone for so long. I want you in my arms. We're like a great song. Shorty's a trapper now. Could he be saved somehow, you know? Now he's at the end of the road. My little nigga's got nowhere to go.
What, man?
Shorty's a trapper now. Could he be saved somehow, you know? Always asking who was to blame. Never asking can my niggas be saved. If the story was about me, I guess I'd tell you about my dad. My real father didn't know, so I was lucky to have the kind of dad with integrity that knew one day that life ill surely would come for me. And they did. His only blood child was alive on the other side of town. It's hard to know how she felt because she hardly came around. Maybe she was mad at her daddy. He's here with me, not with her where he's supposed to be. Feel me? But daddy had a couple secrets of his own. Working up in them schools, gonna leave those young girls alone. Now the rumors started catching up. What they say, said you tried a little something, something. She's in the 5th grade. After job was classic. Used strength from my mom, but couldn't beat that sexual harassment. I guess it was an addiction of some sort you couldn't shake that kept coming back, eating food off our plates. Shorty's a trapper now. Can he be saved somehow? No. Now he's at the end of the road. My little nigga's got nowhere to go. Shorty's a trapper now. Can he be saved somehow? You know. Always asking who was to blame. Never asking can my niggas be saved. Now if the story was about me, I guess I'd tell you about school. I used to go every day. That's what my mom made me do. I gotta admit that I was good at first. In 3rd grade, before you knew it, I became the worst. Who could say I still went every day? But my mind wasn't there. Started falling behind, but really who fucking cared? Not the teacher, she just wanted the kids to greet her. Say good morning, Mrs. Williams, in the afternoon when you leave her. A real bona fide diva. I failed that year, I should have failed the next, but I would have been bigger than the other kids. All of a sudden I'm not like all the other kids. My best friend's moving on, I gotta start again. I see school ain't for me, I just let time pass. The teachers never tried to help, they just let me pass. Only a matter of time before I drop out. Man, they say they need more money with a cop out. Shorty's a trapper now. Could he be saved somehow? You know. Now he's at the end of the road. My little nigga's got nowhere to go. Shorty's a trapper now. Can he be saved somehow? You know. Always asking who is to blame. Never asking can my niggas be saved. If this story was about me, I guess I'd tell you about King. He was the man on the block, the black American dream. Fly, let leather coats and butter Timbs, what he sporting. Before they even had the streets, he had them Jordans. Remember looking up to him like a big brother. Always had an eye to cash, had to be good with numbers. Never pen and paper. Kept everything in his head, a cherry red Benz with no registration. They say you live by the gun, you gon' die by it. And if you laugh in the hood, you gon' cry by it. A real nigga got killed just the other day. Didn't even make the news, but what could they say? A child hero's gone, somebody talk to him. I could see his soul as it walked through him, telling me to stop, turn around and run away before another kid sings a song another day. Shorty's a trip.
So this song was good. I liked it. It's just, you know, dealing with growing up in a crazy neighborhood, growing up crazy, and I think the three elements that go into creating a drug dealer would be family issues. It's not about coming from an unstable home, but just coming from a home where nobody's paying the bills. Like, the bills still need to be done. So, like, me personally, we got evicted. What that means is that you and your parents stop paying rent. They can't afford to pay rent anymore. They fall behind, and then the landlord, like, look, you got to pay all of this back rent. You got to pay all of this stuff, or we're going to put you out. And they go through a hearing, and once they deem that, once the courts say, like, yeah, we're going to put his ass out, then they come through with the city, and they just go in your house, and they throw everything out on the streets. So that happened to me, I want to say, on my 13th birthday, it was between 13 to 15. I know I couldn't work. So I think my parents at the time, so they had got into it. So my dad had moved out, and he was moving out. And without him there to take on that load, then we got evicted eventually. We got evicted. So that's one element. And he had his own issues where, like I said, he was I can't say he was convicted, but it was definitely rumors circulating that he said something inappropriate to, it was like a fifth grader. Because at the time, I want to say, now this happened. This was before the eviction, so that probably happened when I was maybe in the first grade, between the first or third grade. It had to have been like I was in the first grade, because the girl who said that something happened, and just I was just so young. So I'm in the first, between the first and the second grade, and she was in the fifth grade. And because I'm hearing a story from him, this is him telling my mom that he said that something about her titties or something about her breasts. And I'm not sure if titties was the word that was used or breasts, but even in the 80s, that was inappropriate. So he got removed from the school. So this happened on school property, on school grounds, and he got removed from that job. And like I said, I don't know. Like, it's hard to tell. You just don't know. And I think maybe the next episode or whatever, I definitely want to address not that incident, because I wasn't there. I don't know about that incident, but just a lot of times we fight and rally for wolves, right? Like, these people are killers. We're out there fighting for them as if they're the salt of the earth, and they're not. So, and mainly I can't say mainly, but it happens a lot with women and girls. So I'm definitely going to speak on that maybe in the next one. I don't really want to take up too much time with it on this one, but it'll definitely be addressed. And then, so you got that. That's one aspect of creating a drug dealer. You got that, just your family life, whatever. Some people don't even have a dad in the home. You got eviction. Once that come up, like, yo, it's nothing you can do. And if you're not 16, you can't even get a job. So it's not even about you getting a job. There's only one job you can get, and that's sell crack. So you got that. And the next thing was school related. If you're not doing well in school, then what? What's your option? You're not going to become a doctor. You're not going to become a lawyer. You're not going to become an engineer. So look, man, get up on this block and make some money now. Because if you're not doing well in school, 9 times out of 10, you don't even want to go to school. I know my 7th grade year, I missed like 150 days out of 180. So it's 180 days total. I missed 150. And I remember when I came to school maybe at the end of the year, and I think I came down with somebody, maybe one of my homies or whatever. I don't even remember who. But the principal greeted us. He met us out there, like, and he came to me like, look, don't even worry about coming back next year. Like, what? Yeah, man. We don't want you. We don't want you back. Look, man, we just pushing you on to high school. So you got that, right? So if you're not doing well in school, then you don't like school, right? So that's one element. And then the heroes. So the guy that I talked about here was Hakeem. That was just a big name for a lot of kingpins and stuff like that. But the actual guy from my childhood, his name is, I don't think he died, but his name was Dante. And I remember just everybody loved Dante on my block, on my neighborhood. Like all the older people, they loved him. And just me as a kid, I'm probably, like I said, between 1st and 3rd grade. I would say even 5th, between 1st and 5th grade, because he still was huge. You know, these were like big kids. So he's probably like high school, maybe about to go to college, and a ball player and just promising future. And then his future gets cut short. I want to say something happened, and he had to do some type of surgery on his leg. So that was like the end of his ball career, right? That's the end. So if that's the end of his ball career, then that's the end of his future. In the hood, like, yo, you gotta do whatever it takes to get out. So if you're looking up to Dante, now his future's cut short. It's like, man, what's up with my future, right? On top of that, you got other drug dealers who grooming. So at this time, like the guy who was grooming me, his name was Earl. And he would just send me to the store. You know, look, give him a 20. So he'd give me a 20. I go pick up whatever. And I get to keep the change, or I get to buy myself something. So this is like a grooming technique that drug dealers do for their next workers, right? Now, I didn't get in that situation with Earl. Like, I never got into a situation where I would work for him, but I would have. Right, like he was looking out for me. He was taking care of me. Look, if I needed something, I could go to him. Like I said, he'd send me to the store. Yo, go cop that and bring me back whatever, and the rest get yourself. Yo, get you, only you, right? So, don't be treating everybody with my money. So that was so that's one of the things, right? So those 3 elements is what creates a drug dealer. And I thought I really felt like I wanted to really make it just focusing on those stories. So I didn't want to put any drums. I just wanted the piano and the music and just the melody and the story to really carry the weight of the song. So that was that.
Shorty's a trapper now. as a creek, flows like the river so deep. Soak up the tears and blood just so it can eat. Concrete, never can own, only can lease. Caught walking the beat, they gotta eat. Niggas, they hit the streets. Concrete, cold as a creek, flows like the river so deep. Soak up the tears and blood just so it can eat. Concrete, never can own, only can lease. Caught walking the beat, they gotta eat. Niggas, they hit the streets. They say it's nature or nurture. I never gave a fuck about it. The streets is calling me, I'm feeding, trying to keep quiet. When I spit, I start a riot. Niggas be on, that go upside your hit shit. I let them try it. Go get a couple TVs, flat 40 inches, motherfucker, believe me. Smack naughty bitches, make the shit seem easy. Get up all up in them, gas them up, then I'm unbutton they denim. You know why these bitches love me so much, they say I'm ugly. Oh, he ain't all that. Even call me scruffy. When you see me in the street, say my head nappy. Every time I turn around, see you staring at me. Damn, bitch. Back up off me, don't treat me like your pimp. You ain't got shit for me, I don't got time for you. Gotta put pipe through you. Are you understand me? That's so peculiar. A vision of a street dream, like a street dream. Hanging up the posters, come and see me. So wonderful, nigga, call me Stevie. Goddamn, heat fan, be easy. You know how it is, you know just how I go. If it wasn't for the keys, it'd probably be the flow. Might say logo, a motive. My motive is to stay fresh as dope is. Package me up there, go ahead, put me in corner stores. Graffiti on the walls, or what are they looking for? No need for doors, I pass through walls. My frequency is all encompassing, too much for y'all. You saying we equal is a bluff for y'all. Come on, little dudes, now that's enough for y'all. You shouldn't cut off your nose just to spite your face, or you could damage my flow or get a spot on my place. Concrete, cold as a creek, flow like the river so deep. Soak up the tears and blood just so it can eat. Concrete, never can own, only can lease. Got walk in the beat, they gotta eat. Niggas, they hit the streets. Concrete, cold as a creek, flow like the river so deep. Soak up the tears and blood just so it can eat. Concrete, never can own, only can lease. Got walk in the beat, they hit the street. Niggas, they gotta eat. They say it's mind over matter. Never mind, it never mattered. Whatever I wanted in life, I knew that I could get it. Treat it like some salad. All I need is lettuce, not just money, but you need a lot of dressing. Whatever you like, serve it cold. Don't forget, don't move slow and set goals. Never rely on pesos, the wrong approach. Get your thrown way off track and far from home. Something like Wizard of Oz, watching once a year and wishing for fall. Or should I say longing wherever you are. Cruising down my street, they tell stolen car. The cops come, too bad they make it fall. R.I.P. Rest in peace, not for niggas that die, but don't sleep behind bars. Gotta chill in the yard where they orange and they blue suits. A place where ugly girls start to look cute. Nigga, that's bad biz. Can't feel sorry for tatted tears. That nigga went for his, wash it down for years. You know, years didn't follow his biz. Now time past, words don't fit in his ears. Call him hard-headed, little rock. Normal sisters, lose your spot. Whatever you want, put it up. Let the nigga fly. Just a product of environment. Who tried it, you know who's selling it. Now who the fuck buying it? The place where you rest your head at. Believe that. Even a man with no eyes can clearly see that. Some call it a home, while others say it's a tomb. And one of the major rules, never display your jewels. Never display talent unless it's sports or music. You talk about a profit, sure we'll lose it. It might get stolen by the heat they hold it. You can't get mad, the streets is woven up.
All right, so we'll wrap it up there, only because your boy gotta go to work in the morning. So look, man, I gotta be ready. Gotta be ready for work, and next week we'll pick it back up and finish out the rest of the album. So this is the halfway point of the album at 34, and I'll know which song I ended it on, and we'll just pick it up and continue to share the stories and just to share all the stuff that went in with the process, as each song, as it, as I feel like I need to, if something comes to my mind for me to share with you guys. That song, again, just speaking on the hood and just speaking on, I feel like this song actually talks about, this is an underlining element, an element separate, and I felt like this in the classroom as well. When I was teaching a third grade class, probably second. I want to say it was a second grade class, and it's like it was a bad class, right? Quote unquote bad class. But the whole idea was like who or what is making this class bad? Each kid or each individual student, like they're not bad by themselves, but as a collection, they're just feeding off of each other. Like I don't know what it is, but something is causing this whole class to be perceived as bad. But once you kind of separate, because that's how you do it. So let's say one kid is really the main focus or the main problem. You remove that one kid from the group, and usually things will calm down. But with this class, it's like the energy was still there. So, and I think that's what I was talking about, even in this, where it's something, right? It's something else, something other than people that is causing this thing to keep going, right? The game never changed, only the players. Some inherit castles and thrones, some end up death bed layers. Like a little bit of that Shabazz the disciple for y'all. It's just the disciple God. So yeah, that's where we're gonna leave it there, and then we'll pick it back up, and I'll close out with the instrumental part to this, and so that's that. Oh yeah. Let's see if you guys, the reboot is brought to you guys by TekkenGodPrime.com. That's a website that I'm doing where I'm teaching defense in the game Tekken. So that's what these shows are going to be brought to you by. I have some other projects in the works. So that's that. Let's check out Instagram, because I mean, why not? I got like 34 followers. let's beef that up. But I'm not sure. I'm not posting this stuff on there. I'll probably be posting this stuff on my Bo Miles page, right? But still, I'm trying to look and see. But so you guys can follow me on Patzer, right? Patzer, or you can just follow me on just my other page, which I just had. So that's Patzer99, Patzer99. And my other page is Bo_Miles. Now, I'm sure I had Bo Miles, but hey, sometimes you can get back in, sometimes you can't. So you just gotta keep it moving, right? So that's on Instagram, Bo_Miles. You guys can follow me there, or Patzer99. Let's see. Facebook, it'll be the same, and then Twitter, I know I have Bo Miles, so you can follow me on Bo Miles, capital. So at Bo Miles, and I'm sure I have the at Bo_Miles. So I have both of those. Bo_Bo Miles, but I do have at Bo Miles. So yeah, that's on Twitter, and that's really it. Of course, YouTube. I'm sure if you just type in Bo Miles, you'll be able to find me there. So that's that. You guys have a good week. I'll be back, and that's that's all, folks. This has been good. Definitely had a good time, and we're gonna pick it back up next week. All right, later, Gators.